Hi ladies and gentlemen, non-road user here again. As it's Christmas time, fast approaching, I should take this opportunity to wish all of my subscribers and indeed non-subscribers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. That offer is also extended to people who hate the sight of me, because I'm a bit like that. Now more seriously, the video I'm going to show you now is quite worrying. It's worrying for two reasons. First of all, it's about this Sextortion piece that was run on BBC News at 10 last night, and whilst I have every sympathy for people who were involved with that, I mean the victims, not the perpetrators, okay. There was a chap who actually died or committed suicide because of it, and you know that's obviously horrendous, and you know. But the angle that I'm coming from is the reporter who covered the story, who I believe was a BBC reporter, and he said, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop part of this BBC report and show you the relevant part, or at least what I consider to be the relevant part, where this BBC reporter basically accuses this guy, one of the alleged perpetrators, of being guilty of the offence. Now it says at the end of his piece that these people haven't even had a trial yet, right? Now I find that quite worrying, because given that, you know, my feelings about BBC TV licensing, where they appear to assume that everyone who doesn't have a television license is guilty of evasion, right? and you've got a guy who like I say, I assume is a BBC reporter. Basically, what comes across to me is accusing, well, certainly at least one guy, you'll see in this piece, this clip that I'm going to chop out of the full piece, right, accusing him of basically, well, judge for yourselves, right? I mean, I've just watched it, I can't even, you know. So watch this clip that I'm going to put on after I've shut up babbling on, right? And then what I'm going to do, in the interests of fairness, because, you know, selective quoting's all very well, right? What I'm going to do then, at the end of this video, is I'm going to put the full report at the end of this video, you know, so unedited, so you can watch the whole thing and judge for yourselves, right? But I just find it a little bit disturbing that a BBC reporter can basically allude to someone's guilt before a trial has commenced. If you see what I mean. People who are in the TV licence resistance will know more what I'm talking about than probably the average Joe who thinks, you know, I pay for my TV licence because I have to, and the BBC's wonderful and the sun shines out of the porthole, and well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't, right? So anyway, enough of me rabbiting. I'm going to show the selective clip, and then I'm going to show you the full piece after that, Okay, I'll make it quite clear in some text, you know, on the thing that, you know, this is what you're going to see is the full report or something like that. Anyway, I found, excuse me, I found the whole thing totally disturbing. Particularly, you know, okay, so, you know, what these guys did allegedly, because there's been no trial, which is why I say allegedly, was horrendous, you know, if it was indeed them that did it. But equally, I find the BBC's reporter's stance, which seems to come across to me as basically he's talking to the guy and he's saying, yeah, you know, I've found you guilty, I've hung you, I've, you know, whoa, what's that about, you know? Anyway, like I say, enough of me rabbiting on. Let's get to the clips. Okay, see you later. Bye.
We tracked down one of the suspects, Vincent Bravo, now out on bail. You and your friends are responsible for this man's death.
I didn't do it. I don't know anything about it. They have no hard evidence against us.
And here's another, Jomar Palacio. He's also on bail. Both men say they had nothing to do with Daniel Perry's death, but police insist they will stand trial.
It's a new online crime happening on an industrial scale. Interpol says hundreds of thousands of men fall victim every year. It's known as sextortion, where men are blackmailed by gangs operating in countries like the Philippines after being lured into sexually explicit web chats. Last year, a teenager from Scotland, Daniel Perry, took his own life after he was caught up in the scam. Our correspondent Angus Crawford was given exclusive access to the police unit in the Philippines tackling the crime. His report contains some flashing images.
Targets identified. Threat assessed. The raid is on. Specialist cybercrime officers fan out through a slum north of Manila. A warren of narrow alleys. Controlled by gangs. The team's nervous. Officers are targeting a new kind of crime here. It's called sextortion. They're looking for computer equipment and the criminals who operate it, blackmailing men thousands of miles away on the other side of the world. Online sexual blackmail is on the increase and is a key target for the National Cybercrime Unit. In the forensic lab, officers search hard drives for evidence. Criminals target men online, posing as young women. They use fake videos to trick victims into explicit webcam chats. Those chats are recorded and then the threats start to make the recording public unless the victim pays up.
This is the receipt from the Western Union.
Each one of these is someone who's paid money and been a victim of sextortion.
Yes.
The head of the unit says these gangs are making millions. Pages and pages of victims.
Yes.
Victims like Daniel Perry from Dunfermline in Scotland. Just 17, he took his own life last year after threats of blackmail.
This is the place. This one.
In a crowded slum down an alleyway, the shack where those threats came from. Police say 3 men were responsible. From this place, the 3 men contacted Daniel Perry. They extorted him, they bullied him. Now, I've seen the full transcript of what was said, and it's simply too distressing to broadcast. What we know is that Daniel begged them not to put the video online. They said, you will see the effing video on YouTube. He asked them again not to do it, and they wrote to him, commit suicide now, because your family will know this. A few hours later, he did. We tracked down one of the suspects, Vincent Bravo, now out on bail. You and your friends are responsible for this man's death.
responsable sa pagkamatay.
Oo, hindi.
I didn't do it. I don't know anything about it. They have no hard evidence against us.
And here's another, Jomar Palacio. He's also on bail. Both men say they had nothing to do with Daniel Perry's death, but police insist they will stand trial. Justice here is notoriously slow, and Daniel Perry's case may take years to get to court. While police grapple with the scale of the problem, this new crime thrives in the slums of the Philippines. Angus Crawford, BBC News, Manila.
Let's take a brief look at some of the day's other news stories.